Good morning guys, hope all is well and welcome back to the YouTube channel. Today is going to be a different video. It's going to be mainly in the kitchen, running through my whole meal plan of how I can eat 3,900 calories, give or take, in a day with about 260 grams of protein. I know this is something that a lot of guys and girls struggle with, so hoping to give you lots of value. There's loads of key tips along the way as well, and looking forward to getting cracking in today's video. So myself and George going on our morning walk. This beautiful sunrise to our right, improving our appetite, ready for meal one, aren't we, buddy? What do you have today? Chicken? Yeah, he's hungry. Okay team, so we're in for tip number one of how to improve your appetite to handle more food. It's going to be to move. It's going to be to get out for a walk prior to meal one in the day. A little bit of activity, if that's going for a nice walk as I'm doing now, if that's doing a bit of cardio, if that's some weight training, all these things will help improve your appetite massively. The second one then is going to be to move after you've eaten to help improve the digestibility of that food. There's lots of research now showing us this, that the muscles across the abdominals, across the stomach, when you're walking, you're stretching and shortening and rotating these muscle tissues, which is going to help drive blood to that area, which is going to help improve your ability to digest and utilize that food. There's also a lot of research to show that in that kind of first 30 minutes post consumption of food, if you go for like a 5 to 10 minute walk, it helps improve your blood glucose management across the day, which is really helpful from a health standpoint, but also body composition and muscle growth as well. So tip number one, move, do some activity. What people get wrong is that they, because they're on high food, they say, if I just move a little bit less, then this is going to help with my energy balance equation. However, if you're moving less, you're not going to feel hungry and you're not going to be digesting food very well. So easy tip number one. Okay guys, so we're back in for meal number one after our lovely walk with George. Appetite's definitely high, can feel it increase as the walk goes on. Ready to rock for meal number one. So you guys will have seen this before. We have 2 bagels, some eggs, some salmon, stuff like that. So I'm going to get it all together, plate it up, and then show you guys the macros. Okay guys, the wait is over. Finally, I'm starving. We have finished up our breakfast prep, and that is going to be our 2 whole bagels. So I'm going to give half and half here to show you guys. We're going to do 3 full whole eggs, 3 whole eggs, and then 50 grams of smoked salmon. I also have brewed a nice coffee in my percolator, I think it's called, yes, percolator, with a little bit of Flora light spread. I could use some, if you guys are struggling for calories, using some higher calorie Kerrygold or some high calorie butter or some olive oil, things like that as well. I'm quite hungry on these calories, funny enough. I have a really big appetite, so I leave my fats for something else that's going to keep me a little bit more satiated. So I'm going to go and enjoy this. The macros for this meal is going to be on screen now, and then we'll see you guys for meal number 2. So guys, hopefully you're enjoying today's video and taking lots of value for it. Before we go into the next clip, this is a gentle reminder that we are currently running our 12-week transformation challenge called Conditioned in 12. This is a fully extensive 12-week transformation challenge where you will receive personalized training plans, personalized nutrition plans, weekly check-ins with myself, direct access to me across the week, access to the private member site, and so much more. What's even better, the winner of this 12-week transformation challenge will win €2,000 worth of prizes, including €500 cash and 6-month online coaching completely for free with myself. We also have flexible start dates where you can sign up now and start later, or you can start immediately, whatever suits you and your social calendar. The final date for signups is September 2nd. And for all of this, it is only €148.50 per month. That's €37 per week to sign up to this coaching challenge and be in with a chance to win €2,000 worth of prizes. If you're interested in elite level one-to-one coaching, personalized plans, need a bit of a fresher approach to your training, and in need of a body transformation, hit the link in the description, pick the payment plan that suits you, and we will take care of the rest. Okay, so tip number 2 at how to improve your appetite and also digestive function is to eat high quality foods. You'll see that pretty much all of the foods that I'm eating today are not, dirty foods, the phrase of that dirty bulk from back in the day, eating Domino's pizzas and ice cream and croissants and chocolate bars the whole time. Yes, these are very calorie dense. And yes, this can work for a day or two, but improvement phases are supposed to last for, 6, 8, maybe even 10 months or so. Can you sustain that? A really, really good example is one of my clients, Rob, who we've just kind of hit a bit of a ceiling in terms of appetite, where he said, I can't stomach any more food. I go, cool, let me analyze your food. Send me over what you're currently eating. Let me analyze that. And there was lots of, mass shaker, gain shakers, 1400 calorie shakes, and like croissants and chocolate bars and all this kind of stuff that's poor quality food. And like I said, yes, this can be really calorie dense and speed up the amount of calories you're eating for low volume. What happens to the gut? What happens to your gut microbiome, the health of your digestive system? It reduces. So we need to be making sure that we're eating high quality food to make sure that our gut microbiome and digestive system is in a really good spot, so that when you actually eat, you digest and utilize this food. So you'll see that the food volumes that I'm eating are relatively high, but because my digestive system is so good, because of the high quality food, it allows me to sustain this for year round really, or for the long term. So tip number 2, make sure you're eating really high quality foods, even if it's like an 80-20 split where you have the extra little bits of little small things creeping into the diet that are delicious and palatable. Yes, I'm all for that. That creates more sustainability, but the majority of your foods throughout the day should be and must be high quality. So guys, we're back in the kitchen for meal number 2, which we've prepared earlier, which is going to be overnight oats. Make sure I don't spill it out in this delicious bowl. I always find that a little key tip: have nice bowls, nice stuff that you eat your food out of. It makes it look a little bit more appetizing, and that then increases your... So guys, we're back in the kitchen for meal number 2. That's going to be overnight oats, which is a very consistent meal that I often eat as well. A little key tip for this as well is to, this lovely bowl here, I love eating out of it. It makes things look a little bit more appetizing, which increases the cephalic phase of digestion, which is when you're not even before you've even actually eaten the food, increases salivary amylase in the mouth, helps the digestive function, etc. So make sure that your foods look appetizing. This might not look appetizing to you, but it definitely does to me. This is going to be 150 grams of oats. Key tip to myself, I need more oats. 150 grams of oats. We are then also using 50 grams of whey protein isolate. We're using chocolate honeycomb, delicious. We're then using 100 grams of frozen blueberries. And then we're using 20 grams of peanut butter. I also do 5 grinds of pink salt on here, and then a little bit of Saxa low salt, which is potassium rich. I'll do that in all meals consistently. I'll just mix that with a little bit of water, okay? So meal 2 going in, and quick tip number 2 or number 3 coming soon. So food tip number 3 of how you can have better appetite and better digestion is going to be to find foods that digest really well for you. That's going to sound so simple, but actually just writing out a list of, let's say, 5 different carbohydrate sources like rice, sweet potato, pasta, oats, bagels, etc. that digest really well for you. If bread, milk, dairy, things like this don't digest well for you, just because your favorite Instagrammer or myself are eating this on YouTube, you don't have to eat that. You need to find what foods digest really, really well for you. The second point is going to be around consistency of consumption of these foods. So the more consistent and repeatable you can be, the more your body is going to want that. It loves repeatability. It loves having the same stuff at the same time every single day. Now, you might be someone who needs variety in your diet and changing day to day, and that's absolutely okay. But go off that list, your 5 favorite carbs, your 5 favorite protein sources, your 5 favorite fats, your 5 favorite fruit and or veg, and just change and rotate from that list, but you're consistently using the foods from that list itself. And this will massively help when you're trying to eat high amounts of calories per day. Okay guys, so we are back in the kitchen. We might actually need to make another YouTube channel called Cowan's Kitchen or something like that for a post-workout meal. Just finished legs, really, really productive session. And one of the most important, if not the most important meal of the day for me is going to be my post-workout meal, which I'll consume about 60 minutes after. That is going to consume up, and hopefully you guys can see, 200 grams of rice, raw weight, jasmine rice, 200 grams of chicken breast, raw weight, and then a handful of this veg mix, which is so handy. I can't take any credit for this. G made this for us. It's this red cabbage, red onion, and also tomatoes with some sesame oil in here as well, with some sort of like vinaigrette dressing or something like that. Great to like veg prep, leave it in the fridge and just add it to all of your meals. Really good high quality stuff. And then these things are like these, what are they called? roasted seaweed. I'm loving these at the moment. Come in a little container. They're like kind of these crispy things that make from sushi, and you can kind of just parcel up a bit of rice and eat it. Unreal. Delicious. We've got some pink salt, we've got some salt light, some sriracha, and then we also have some Peronaise hot, personal favorite, to add on top of this as well. Okay, I'm gonna eat this. I'm starving. I have a business consult now in a second with someone coming on board the mentorship team, which I'm looking forward to. So I need to eat this, get to that, and then I will see you guys for meal number 4. Okay guys, so we got in for our final meal of the day, meal number 4, and I know it is 7 p.m. right now. I don't need to look at any clocks, and the main reason for this is because I always have my final meal of the day at 7 p.m. And that brings me to my final tip for you guys. Have consistent meal timings, particularly your first meal of the day. When you have lots and lots of food to eat, the likelihood is you're going to wake up, you're not going to be hungry, and you say, I'll just move it out until I'm hungry. And that gets to 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m., 11 a.m. and you haven't eaten anything, and then you have 3,000 calories, 4,000 calories to eat throughout the second half of the day. So make sure that you have consistent meal timings. Mine are always going to be around 7:30, 12 o'clock, 3:30 and 7 p.m. every single day to manage this amount of total food. So what are we having for our final meal of the day? This is going to be 250 grams of 5% beef mince, these kind of beef strips. They're really, really nice. There's 200 or actually 195 grams of jasmine rice below here. You might not be able to see it because it's covered from the beef and the veg. So 195 grams of jasmine rice. Both these are raw weight. And literally a handful of veggies. These are just so simple. Sorry, they're going everywhere. These are so simple to get, guys, that you can get in the supermarket. This is $285, which is like €150 or some €50. Cabbage, carrot, corn, spinach, all good quality. Gives me a really good variation with also then my red onion, my red cabbage and tomatoes as well. Gives me a really good micronutrition profile for the day. And then it also has my seaweed in there. So really, really convenient, which is key for nutrition. The beef is being cooked with dark soy, sriracha and garlic powder. If you haven't tried that before, it's absolutely delicious. So that should kind of carry that. Sauce wise, I might stick a little bit more on actually. And then also some pink salt and low salt as well. And that's going to conclude my final meal of the day. The macros for this meal are on screen now. And then after that, this is going to be my full macronutrient intake for the whole day with all of my calories on screen now. We're just shy of 3,900 calories. It's a good amount of food. However, I could eat this and I probably could eat another meal after this. The main reason for that is because of the 4 tips that I gave you guys of how to manage appetite and hunger across the day. Should allow you to eat large quantities of food overall. So guys, hopefully you found this really, really valuable. If you did and you are not a follower, make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions at all, make sure you drop one in the comment section. And until then, I'm going away on holidays back to Ireland for a couple of weeks. But until our next video, I'll catch you all guys in the next one.